Hi, and welcome to Confluence Conversations, the podcast where we explore impactful topics shaping education, communities, and student success. I'm your host, Haley Bruick. Our goal is to engage in meaningful conversations with experts and change makers, offering insights and resources for students, parents, and educators. Today, we're spotlighting Ranken Technical College, known for hands-on, industry-driven programs and strong job placement. From student support to employer partnerships, Ranken is helping learners move confidently from classroom to career. I'm honored to welcome Crystal Herron, Vice President for Student Success at Ranken Technical College. Crystal leads initiatives that strengthen persistent completion and career outcomes while building an inclusive, student-centered culture. Also with us today is CPA Senior Antone Wilson. Crystal and Antone, thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Haley, for having us here.
It is our pleasure, and let's begin from the beginning. Crystal, tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Ranken.
Well, I am an East St. Louis native, born and raised, and went away to college, earned 2 degrees in English, mass communications. At some point, I wanted to work in radio, I thought, but then I was drawn to education, and so working at Ranken for the past 34 years has led me over, through many different opportunities. I started out as an adjunct instructor in the general education department, and then I went from there to becoming general education division chair. I've worked for TRIO, Student Support Services, the federally funded program, and from there I just, became dean, and then now, 34 years later, I'm here as vice president for student success.
So working with students is like what you've known
Yes.
for a really long time.
Yes.
And Antone, you're here because you are considering Ranken.
Yes, ma'am. I am interested in automotive technician for Ranken.
And my understanding is, automotive's a big umbrella. There's a lot of sub-programs.
Yes. Automotive is one of our programs that has the highest demand. We have all flavors of automotive technology. So from the certified dealerships include the Ford, Honda, General Motors, Toyota, and in addition to that, collision repair. And we also offer diesel technology at 2 of our locations. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And along with automotive, you have a number of other pathways.
Most of our all of our technical programs actually fall into 5 categories or 5 divisions. So automotive being the first, and that's all the flavors of automotive technology. So we have construction, we have information technology, electrical, and manufacturing. So all of our programs from plumbing to architecture to construction, all of our programs fall into one of those categories. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what does, how do you adhere to industry standards? Because forgive me, but your goal is to teach to career, right?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we love to do is talk about our mission. So Ranken's mission is to provide the comprehensive education and training necessary to prepare students for employment and advancement in a variety of technical career fields. That means that they can come to us as a blank slate, and it's our responsibility to teach the skills and the knowledge, right, and the attitudes and the behaviors so that they're ready, they're employable upon graduation. And in most cases, employable before you even graduate, because, Antone, you're interested in automotive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So in most programs, you'll have an opportunity to actually go to work as part of your technical curriculum.
Yes, ma'am. I like the way that sounds, actually.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably learn hands-on what
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
doing, right?
Yes, ma'am. And that's actually what I am looking for, more hands-on action and work.
Fantastic. So what would his success look like at Ranken?
Great question. So Antone would come to Ranken as a first semester student. Mm-hmm. All the programs, the 4 semesters that you would be enrolled in Ranken, you would be expected to complete an internship, which is embedded in your technical program. So you would have 8 weeks of in-class instruction in a classroom or a shop. And then upon completion of that first 8 weeks, you would rotate out to an internship with one of our partners, whether it's Mercedes or a Ford dealership or a Honda dealership or a Toyota dealership. And we even service the smaller businesses. So students get that hands-on experience, and it also gives them an opportunity to recognize what it is that they really like and what it is that they do not like, right? So you'll have several opportunities, several iterations of experience so that upon graduation, you know exactly what you want to do,
yes,
right?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am, and I really like the way that sounds because it sounds like more so like I wouldn't have to come out looking for what I want. You already like show me the ropes and already lead me to what I want more so.
Yes. Most times the students are already employed in most cases. They're already employed or the employer is looking to bring them on full time upon graduation.
Crystal, what does a day in a life of a Ranken student look like? And I'm sure you want to hear this too.
Absolutely. So students come to Ranken, and what happens is they've worked with their admissions rep the entire time. They come to Ranken that first day, and they now belong to Student Success. So for the next 4 semesters, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, it doesn't matter. Throughout the life of your education, your schedule is already put together. We talk with you about that so that you understand what the requirements are and what the expectations are. You understand the appearance expectations, the attendance expectations.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so we're just coaching you and mentoring you the entire time. We know that you've been a student for the past few years as, coming
Yes,
up
ma'am.
through secondary school. And so we want to make certain that you understand what the expectations are. It's important to show up on time. It's important to do your homework and meet deadlines because, again, our mission drives what we do. We're preparing you to go to work. And employers know exactly what Ranken, graduates.
Yes, ma'am.
Will he be taking core curriculum, English, math, and can he venture out into, say, he wants to see what construction's like, or it's very automotive if he picks automotive driven?
It's very prescriptive. So that means that every course that you take on that pathway is automotive specific. So every technical course is automotive specific. You'll start with maintenance and light repair all the way down through chassis and drivetrain and all that. That's
Yes,
the technical stuff. But in addition to that, you'll take general education courses. Now, Ranken also offers certificates, the Certificate of Technology, the Associate degree, and the Bachelor of Science degree. So as a student coming into the 2-year automotive program, whichever flavor you choose from either the Certificate of Technology, where you take 2 general education courses, or the associate degree, where you take up to 9 general education courses, unless, of course, you transfer in general education.
Yes,
So a
ma'am.
lot of options.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. And so Student Success, it works as a counselor, guidance, advisor.
All rolled into one. So we meet the students on day 1, and preferably before the first day of classes. We do reach out, but we meet the students during orientation, and we try to encourage them to become active and engaged because we know that, we get higher success when students are more engaged right out of the gate, right? And we recognize that, the transition from high school to college can be a little daunting. So we encourage them, and when I say we, the team of student success counselors and we push into the classroom so that when a student is confused or has a question or needs follow-up or needs some encouragement, we're right there to observe it and then sort of coach the student along.
Yes, ma'am. And I see the word hands-on really works all around the board for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good observation.
Yes, ma'am.
And speaking of like how you guys help the students, you do cater a little bit to first generation students.
Definitely. First generation students have that hurdle that's just a little bit steeper because a lot of times that learning curve, they haven't had that, right? The parents, the people in their support system, their immediate support system, are not necessarily familiar with navigating college or the expectations. And so, it used to be years ago, people thought, oh my gosh, the FAFSA is just crazy to complete. But now it's not just the FAFSA. It's, getting acclimated to the learning management systems and turning in the work. And then how do I schedule an appointment with my instructor? Do I just walk into office hours? Do I have to schedule office hours? For the shy students who would rather not schedule office hours, but we know that success starts with engagement. So we encourage students like Antone to get in there and ask your instructors questions so that they recognize, one, who you are, put a name with a face, and then they get to know your personality so that they can cater what they're doing in the classroom to the students' needs.
teaches you how to advocate. Now, I know you already know how to advocate. You're doing it really well here at CPA. But in a new environment, it might be a little more challenging.
Yeah, I feel like I'm up for it, honestly.
I know you are. I definitely know you are. Well, speaking of the partnership, like that we have Confluence Preparatory Academy students going to Ranken, how does that all work? Like, I know we have programs during high school or when they graduate. How do you work with Confluence Academy specifically?
So students come to us as dual enrolled. So Antone is going to start with Ranken in spring.
Yes, ma'am.
In January of 2026. And typically what that looks like is a student is on track to graduate on time from the high school, and they will complete a semester or two during their senior year and get that under their belt, that experience. And usually it's at no cost to the student. The sending high school pays a portion of tuition, and Ranken invests a portion of tuition. And so the student gets that first year of college or that first semester of college at no cost. So again, it's so that you can focus on not the burden of financing it, but the burden, the burden of learning the new environment and figuring out what exactly I need to do to be successful.
Yes, ma'am.
And how does this impact the local community?
One, it'll send a student, a young person, into the workforce really early. And I'm saying really early. So when you think about dual enrollment, we think about early college. That suggests that the student is mature enough and academically astute enough to be able to navigate not just what they have here at the high school, but also what they have at the college level as well. Sometimes students are also working outside of those two responsibilities, and they may have responsibilities at home. So that's where the coaching and the mentoring and the advocating and, all of that comes into play.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. Do you currently work?
Yes, ma'am. I actually have a job at Foot Locker.
Okay. See, that's all good experience. So well-rounded. And what about sports?
Yes, I am actually currently a part of our football team, our track team, and wrestling. Yes, ma'am. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I did get the position to the team manager this year for the basketball team. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to all of that.
So we would talk to Antone about managing all of that, how he's going to make certain that his studies are the priority, they get the attention that they deserve, right? Because you want to be successful at Ranken, but we also want you to be successful at everything you do. So that means you're going to have to be super organized
And learn how to manage.
Yes, and manage your time. Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a skill,
Yes, ma'am.
But you're already on track.
Yeah.
That's great. What if any success stories or feedback from parents, students have you found?
Success stories. They usually start and end with desire, right? Persistence and engagement. We have students who come to us and they're not, while they're certain that they want to work in a specific field, they didn't necessarily anticipate the level of work and the level of commitment that it takes to be a Ranken student. And you've been a student before, right?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that's not new, but recognize that if you're taking in information differently and you're not able to recall it the way you did in high school, then it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means you might have to change up your study habits or change up the way you do what you do. And that's a lot. Exactly. That's a lot of what we do with the students. And so, again, we're preparing the next workforce. We're preparing you to go to work. And so from day one, we're expecting you to wear your uniform. We're expecting you to show up on time. We're expecting you to have a good attitude. And so in addition to the technical education, I mentioned earlier that students will, be required to complete general education courses, but there's also a third component of our educational formula, and that's work ethic. So that's the soft skills. That's the employability skills. That's what employers want, and that's what employers know Ranken for. So when you graduate from Ranken, not only did you demonstrate success in your technical courses and your general education courses, but you've also had 4 or 5 semesters or 2 semesters, some depending on which program, of positive work ethic, passing work ethic with an exceeds expectations or a meets expectations, because that is what is going to distinguish you from the person next to you in the same classroom or the same shop who's going for the same degree, right? Yeah.
And those are skills that really we try in high school, but we can't do it like a college or like Ranken can do that.
Ranken has over 100 years worth of experience doing it, right?
That helps.
Yeah. So, we called it years ago, it was character education, right? But now it's a transferable skill. It's a soft skill. So working at Foot Locker, you've definitely learned some things, but all you can do now at this point is polish it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Just polish it. And think about, how do I distinguish myself from the next person? How do I make myself look like the more appealing candidate?
Yes, ma'am.
Compared to the other folks in the room?
And that sounds like you're bringing up a bit of a challenge. So my question then is, what are the challenges and how do you, student success at Ranken, help overcome those?
There are several, but of course it's student specific, right? But generally speaking, students really struggle with navigating or managing their time. They struggle with managing what's happening at home or on the job and prioritizing school. Because most times when we start to talk to them about what's important, they have in their minds these competing priorities, and one is going to take second seat to the other. But we have to remind them often that you chose Ranken for a reason. You want to change your lifestyle. You want to make this money. You want to own your own business. You want to be in a partnership with another company or a corporation or a group of friends. And so you make these sacrifices. And so sacrificing is another. So those are the struggles. And again, it's learning the learning management system, meeting deadlines. If they have responsibilities at home, that takes their attention away from sometimes having an ideal environment to do their schoolwork.
Real world stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead. We've even housed students who were sort of couch surfing just to make certain that they could have a quiet, safe space to complete their work. It's convenient. The walk to class is, 5 to 7 minutes, if that. And so we try to do whatever we can. We find out if it's transportation or if it's housing, if it's childcare, whatever those issues are that sort of take the front seat away from study. We try to address those as early as possible.
Making it very difficult to fail. And by fail, I don't mean an F. I just mean
not completing it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One last one. What would you say to people or schools who are looking to have a partnership or students who want to attend Ranken? Where should they go? What should they do? I
would absolutely, first and foremost, direct them to our website, right? Do your research. A lot of times students so Ranken sells itself. If you go, you visit the campus and you see the shops, you see all the cars, the vehicles, you see the machines in the advanced precision machining shop, you see the aquaponics pond in our ag engineering shop, you see the electrical, devices and panels in our electrical shop. So it's very active, it's very busy, but also understand there's an expectation, right? We're big on safety because you're going to work. Students have to learn how to be safe and to perform in a safe manner. So I would first and foremost take you to do your research because we have so many programs. Students will get excited when they see the bells and whistles and they stop there. So if they go into the automotive shop, that's usually the one they'll stop there unless they have uncles and aunts or, people in their immediate support bubble who have experienced Ranken and they know Ranken also offers plumbing and Ranken offers fabrication and welding technology and Ranken offers, construction. So, but do your research, attend a Shadow a Tech. And I think we have a Shadow a Tech opportunity coming up tomorrow, October 2nd. From 8:30 until 11:30. And that's where students will come in and sort of walk in the shoes a day in the life of a Ranken student, right? You'll do a fun, interactive, hands-on activity, and it gives you more insight as to what Ranken expects from all of its students, not just first-generation students, but all the students at all the locations. So do your research.
And our listeners are probably, this is going to be, they can tune into this 2 months from now.
Sure.
So I'm assuming you have those dates online or they can reach out
Absolutely,
to the school.
absolutely, yes.
Okay. Before we wrap up, Antone, do you have any questions about Ranken or anything you think a student would want to know that we haven't covered?
Yeah, I want to know more about the living. Like how would that be?
So any student who lives in we have a one residential hall, one dormitory, Walker Hall, and you have to be an enrolled and active student to live there. You'd fill out the application, you'd indicate on your FAFSA that you plan to live on campus, and then the rest is all behind the scenes, right? You'd pay your $150 deposit, and as long as you're enrolled and you're ready to go, you show up on day one, we send you your move-in material, and the rest is easy peasy after that.
Easy peasy. I'm going to conclude and ask you, each one of you, Crystal, let's start with you. Anything else to add? Anything we haven't covered that you think our listener would want to know?
Attending Ranken is obviously a choice, and I'm going to say it's a good choice. We prepare students to go to work. We are very mission-oriented. Everything we do is about our mission. If it doesn't support the mission, we don't do it. Simply put.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have anything to add or?
Honestly, I would like to say it's a very good opportunity to be right here right now. Honestly, I would like to thank all of y'all who are in here and right here next to me, both of y'all. Yeah.
I like that, living in the moment, living in the present.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you both for being here. And Ranken clearly has so much to offer. I think trades are huge right now. So if you want more information, you can go to the Ranken website, learn more. And for everyone listening, don't forget to subscribe, share the Confluence Conversations podcast. And thanks again for listening, and I hope you have a great day.